Hi, my name's Dale Surratt, and today I'm going to be talking about angels. Do I believe in angels? Absolutely, because I had an event that took place that makes me firmly believe that there are angels. I was serving in the Army with the 11th Armored Cav back in 1988 doing border duty on the Iron Curtain. I was a specialist and I was working in the chaplain's corps as a chaplain activity specialist or chaplain's assistant. My time had come up for getting out of the Army, ETS, end of service. It was time for me to go back home, and I was so looking forward to it. I had a calendar called a short timers calendar, and I was marking the days off until it was time for me to go home. And there were some other soldiers that were going home on the same day. And the three of us got into a military van with our stuff. We said goodbye to all our friends, and we rode from Fulda, Germany, about an hour's drive north of Frankfurt, down to Frankfurt, Rhine-Main, and we boarded an airplane. It was a beautiful airplane. It was a 747. And as we were getting on the airplane, we were putting our stuff away in the overhead luggage compartment and getting settled into our seats when I saw two MPs come aboard the airplane and start talking to the stewardess. And I said to the other two soldiers, "Ooh, sucks to be you guys. One of you guys aren't going home." And they laughed and joked. And then the stewardess turned around and pointed to me. And then they said to me, "Oh, it sucks to be you. You're the one not going home." And the MPs motioned for me to come to them. And so I started to come, and they said, "No, get your stuff." So I got my stuff out of the overhead bin, and I went to them, and I said, "What's going on?" And they said, "It's not your time." I said, "But I have my orders here. My orders and my plane ticket say it is my time." They said, "It's not your time. Come with us." And I wanted to stand there and argue, but the stewardess motioned for us to get out of the plane because we were blocking traffic. So I followed them and got into a military police van. It was green. It was Volkswagen. And we headed back. And I was very upset because I wanted to know, I was supposed to go home. I had called my mom and said I was going to be home for Christmas because that was on December 21st. I was looking forward to being home for Christmas. And I kept asking them, what's going on? Who canceled my orders? Who, what, where, when, why? And eventually on the ride home, I fell asleep. And when I woke up, on the ride back to the military post, when I woke up, I was standing in front of the MP station. Now understand that my room in the military barracks was directly above the MP station. I had to go by the MP station desk and every day when I went in and out of the building. So I knew all the MPs, I knew their faces. But these two that came and got me, I didn't know them. And shortly, while I'm standing there in front of the MP station going, how is this happening? There was an alert siren that went off, and the base went on full alert, and we had to deploy to the Iron Curtain and to our battle stations. So, threw my stuff inside the building, grabbed some field gear, and I grabbed the chaplains, and off we went like we were supposed to, up to OP Alpha, Outpost Alpha. And we were up there at OP Alpha for Christmas. President Reagan called and thanked us for standing on the frontiers of freedom between the free and the communist world. And by the time we got back, it was December 28th, and then they cut me new orders and new plane tickets to fly the following day on the 29th. The chaplains had a award ceremony for me where they gave me this award right here that's on the wall. Border Duty Certificate dated December 29th, 1988. And then I got on a plane later that day and flew back to America. When I got to Tampa, which was my final destination, I was met by some military personnel who took me to go see a commanding officer of the reserve unit that I was going to be assigned to, the 32nd Trans Group out of Tampa. At which time the commander called me into his office and proceeded to chew my butt. And I didn't understand what was going on. He's like, why? Why did you not call your mother and tell her you weren't coming home? Why didn't you tell her that? And I was like, what are you talking about, sir? Your mother has been going crazy calling me. She thinks that she's a general or a colonel or something, and she thinks she has the rank to be able to call anybody she wants to and say whatever she wants to anybody. She's highly upset. I said, what's going on, sir? He goes, how can you not know what's going on? I said, well, sir, when I got off the plane, we went on alert, and I haven't been around any TVs or anything like that for the past 2 weeks. And he said, oh my God, son, you haven't seen the news? I said, no. He said, the plane that you were on, there was a bomb on it. It's Pan Am Flight 103 that blew up over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing 270 passengers. And you were supposed to be on that plane. And your mother thinks you were on that plane. And then it dawned on me, those two MPs, and the reason I didn't recognize them was because they were angels. And I got goosebumps just telling the story about that. That's the only explanation I can have, because nobody else knew why I got off that plane or how I got off that plane. Do I believe in angels? Absolutely.